you very much. Thank you. Welcome back from our beach last Sunday, and it's wonderful. Nice to see everyone and some new faces today. But us new friends are joining us together, and just very excited to share with you. Usually, I just like to looking back at the month of August. A lot of things happen in the month of August, but two spotlighted. I like to spotlight two events. Was the passing of the Athena Franklin on August 15th, and also John McCain passed on August 25th. It has been broadcasted everywhere, a funeral and the memorials for the last 5 days. And yesterday was actually a national cathedral in Washington, D.C. It was a beautiful service, and eulogy was read by his daughter, Megan, right? Megan McCain gave a wonderful eulogy. So just for 3 to 4 minutes, I just want to, and I'd like to take a quick look at it, her speech. I thought it was a pretty moving speech that she gave yesterday.
And she did. John McCain was defined by love. This love of my father for my mother was the most fierce and lasting of them all, Mom. Let me tell you what love meant to John McCain and to me. His love was the love of a father who mentors as much as he comforts. He was endlessly present for us, and though we did not always understand it, he was always teaching. He didn't expect us to be like him. His ambitions for us, unmoored from any worldly achievement, was to be better than him, armed with his wisdom and informed by his experiences, long before we were even old enough to have assembled our own. As a girl, I did not fully appreciate what I most fully appreciate now, how he suffered, and how he bore it with a stoic silence that was once the mark of an American man. I came to appreciate it first when he demanded it of me. I was a small girl thrown from a horse and crying from a busted collarbone. My dad picked me up, he took me to the doctor, and he got me all fixed up. Then he immediately took me back home and made me get back on that very same horse. I was furious at him as a child, but how I love him for it now. My father knew pain and suffering with an intimacy and immediacy that most of us are blessed never to have endured. He was shot down, he was crippled, he was beaten, he was starved, he was tortured, and he was humiliated. That pain never left him. The cruelty of his communist captors ensured that he would never raise his arms above his head for the rest of his life. Yet he survived, yet he endured, yet he triumphed. And there was this man who had been through all that with a little girl who simply didn't want to get back on her horse. He could have sat me down and told me all of that and made me feel small because my complaint and my fear was nothing next to his pain and memory. Instead, he made me feel loved. Megan, he said, in his quiet voice that spoke with authority and meant you had best obey. Get back on the horse. I did, and because I was a little girl, I resented it. Now that I am a woman, I look back across that time and see the expression on his face when I climbed back up and rode again. And I see the pride and love in his eyes as he said, "Nothing is going to break you." For the rest of my life, whenever I fall down, I get back up. Whenever I am hurt, I drive on. Whenever I am brought low, I rise. That is not because I am uniquely virtuous or strong or resilient. It is simply because my father, John McCain, was. When my father got sick, and I asked him what he wanted me to do with this eulogy, he said, "Show them how tough you are." That is what love meant to John McCain. Love for my father also meant caring for
Thank you. It's a long video, but I think this is one of the moving moments for me because John McCain came from a background of his grandfather, his grandfather was the naval admiral of the naval. It means he was supposed to become following the footsteps, and he had so much weight and pressure on his shoulder to carry on. He was in prison. He was a senator. He was the president candidate. He was running for president. He had so many ways, so many hats, and so many challenges in his life. But she said, beside all the hats, who he was a loving father to him. That was an incredible moment. And he said, get back on horse again. I mean, she resented, but get back on horse again. But later on, years later on, she really understood what that meant to her. I mean, for many of us as a parent, we're definitely going through that moment with our children. Why he or she said something like that? I resented, but maybe perhaps and eventually in the future came the deep realization. Thank you for our parents. This event would happen back before and after the 6th anniversary of Samoa events, Samoa Assembly of Father Moon. It's really happened almost literally. John McCain passed away the day before the Samoa ceremony was held in Korea. Thought it was a very interesting moment. Somebody who was loving, caring, and patriotic to this country passed away a day before anniversary of Father Moon, who lived almost exactly, who went through the life. And I was literally, it seems like I listened to the rheology of Father Moon 6 years ago. So that was really reminding me of it, and I just have to show this to you. But my topic for today, perhaps maybe related, may not be related, perhaps maybe related. I just wanted to come back to my topic for today. Sorry, it's a little bit of a hard to see it, but I try not to entertain in front of you. Making different all the colors on my facial colorations and everybody else. But as you can see, here it is me, Sukon, the Bishop Stott, and another young minister and Bishop Stott's member. We here every Monday, regularly meets from 1:30 to 3 o'clock at his church. We read and discuss over divine principle. They call it the Bible study. So everybody had a divine principle book, and one lady forgot, Shita, sister Gunita forgot. She said, "I forgot my Bible." In other words, she forgot a divine principle. So, I forgot a Bible. Everybody looking forward to have this Bible session study together. We're having this another session with Jeanette, with also Jeanette, with Alba, Thaddeus, and whoever likes to come, Susan and myself, and every Thursday here. And before that, around 2 o'clock, we're having this session with Reverend Smith, Reverend Smith. We're having a session. We're going to have a session in the future with Bishop Sutton. But everyone really call it the Bible study. And because it really brings this divine principle takes right into the heart and the core of the Bible. Really, the core of the Bible, the message, it's like permeated out, really spring out of the Bible, was really able to explain through the divine principle. So everybody get excited. And the divine principle as the object, we're all there to learn. And every time I'm meeting on the Monday session, I learn something deep. So something I learned, we read over Noah's family. And that gives me incredible inspiration. So I just like to, it taught me so much lesson. So I just like to explain that and talk about the faith of Noah. In divine principle, we talk about here, this is divine principle here, mentioned in the providence of restoration through Noah's family. Noah, the central figure to restore the foundation of faith. God called Noah 10 generations, or 1,600 biblical years after Adam, for the purpose of fulfilling the will which he had intended to realize through Adam. Okay? Wow, the faith to restore the foundation of faith. Noah was a central figure to restore the foundation of faith. God called Noah 10 generations. Noah was a central figure at that particular age. I mean, he was a central figure. He was what we call able. He was an able figure. It is so important for all of us to have an able figure in our lives. We can be a leader. At the same time, we can be the one who can share, love, give. At the same time, it's always wonderful to have. It is a human nature to have an able person that we can offer, we can give, we can offer love and offerings or faith. To have a faith in God. Noah was an able figure, and of course Noah was faithful to God. Here I can say in the providence restoration is through Diamond's family. Mike was the central figure to restore the foundation of faith. God called Mike 10 generations and 1600 biblical years after Adam for the purpose of fulfilling which he had intended to realize through Adam. In the providence restoration through the Mayor's family, Adam was the central figure to restore the foundation of faith. God called Adam 10 generations or 1600 biblical years after Adam for those fulfillment which he had intended to realize through Adam. You are the central figure today. You are the central figure of today. I'm not just talking about Noah's time. It was just an example Noah had set to each one of us about faith that he had. But it is about your time now. We are here to just about welcoming a new age. So was Adam after the flood judgment. Noah welcoming a new cosmos, new age. So as we too welcome a new age, we are in a time when we're about to welcome a new universe. And you are the central figure. And it is so wonderful to have our able person as well. As a human nature always seeks for able person, always somebody we can really dare to unite with, working with. There are so many wonderful people in history and today, but I call it the Mother Moon. One of the wonderful able person that we can truly walk around with, walking with, connecting our heart with. Let's take a look at 10 generations of Noah's family. Noah's family, I discussed with Bishop Scott. Did Noah just so happen he was so faithful? He was born and he became so faithful. He was so righteous from the beginning. Without any foundation of the 9th generation before. Bishop Scott and I and other ministers talked about, no, I don't think so. It must be, there was some sort of traditions has been passed on from Cain or Seth's family. Noah came from the Seth lineage. So Seth all the way down to the generations and discussing about the faith, discussing about the Abel's offering to God. Perhaps also they including a discussion of Cain was murdered by, Abel was murdered by Cain. Story of murder, perhaps maybe a part of that story, maybe. But about the faith of God has been perhaps a part of the family traditions has been passed on. I dissected into the Hebrew. Look at this whole entire 10 generations. Stop on it. Adam had a Seth at 130 years old. Later, at age 800, Adam had his sons and daughters. Seth gave a birth, not a Seth, but his wife, of course. And, at the age of 105 years old. But at the 807 years old, Seth's wife had the sons and daughters. Now, the Enos, at the age of 90 years old, now had a Canaan. And then, at the age of 815 years old, Enos and his wife had sons and daughters. That's a full story. So on and so forth, all the way down to Enoch. Enoch's a little different. Enoch actually, he had, at the age of 65 years old, but at the age of 300, he had the sons and daughters, but she was very faithful with God for 300 years. He was faithful with God for 300 years. But only this was mentioned with Enoch only. Everybody else is just sort of simply giving an age and time and age and time and how many generations. But here it is, Enoch was with God for 300 years and passed at the age of 365, and of course so on forth. And then finally, the 10th generation, Noah, at the age of 182 years old, the man predicted that this child will give us a freedom. He will comfort us in the labor and the painful toil of our hands opposed by the ground the Lord has cursed. Now, this was the promise was made to the generations. Was our children, this child will give us a freedom. The faith, a righteous one, will come about. And they call it the Noah. Here we go, the Noah's 10th generation. So I believe family traditions of starting with this all the way down was some sort of a family tradition of faith has been passed on to generation after generation. We sort of kind of figured, maybe perhaps we kind of talked about it, discussed about it, that it didn't mention in the Bible, but I believe it's a faith has been passed on. It has been accumulated of the faith of the generations, and it resulted in Noah's family. So Noah, my goodness, Noah was cold when the earth was filled with violence, enduring all kinds of delusion and mockery. He worked for 120 years on the mountain to build the ark in absolute obedience to God's instruction. Upon this condition of faith, God could bring on a flood judgment into Noah's family. In this sense, Noah was the first father of faith. We are too the first father or mother of faith. Are we at this particular age right now? But take a look at Noah's faith. God asked Noah, all right, God, I know you want me to build the house on the top of the mountain. Yeah, that's nice. House. What? Not a house. Boat. What? The boat on the mountain. I mean, this right here, it's nothing like the desert. Now, in this entire area, I haven't seen the rain all my life. I haven't seen the rain like 5 years ago. Yeah, but in this area, God, it must be a house, not a boat, all right? It's HOUSE, house. The ship. What? No. Really? Ship? On top of this mountain? Oh, please. What? That's a big ship, too. I don't know how much it'll take me to build a ship. Can you imagine? Noah had to build, not a house, but ship on a mountain. Can you imagine? Place yourself as a center figure of today. If you receive the revelation, not a house, not the beautiful condo on top of the mountain, but you asked to build it by yourself. You had to build it on top of the mountain. What kind of faith that you need to have? Is that I just cannot do it. I have a master seed of faith. Master seed of faith is like this. It is my faith compared to the Noah's faith that he had. He built the ark 120 years on top of the mountain with a mockery, and everybody couldn't believe it. I believe he has a side job. I believe he has some side job. I believe so. And to make money, But his main passion was to go up a mountain to build the ark. That was it. Because he received instruction with God that you got to build the ship, no matter what. Okay, God told me so, and I had to believe it with a passion, with a heart. I want to build the ship because God will make it rain. God will make it rain in this area. God will make it rain. That rain is a purifying entire environment. The building a new environment. Creating and recreating a new cosmos. New universe. New earth. Today we too are living in a time where the central figures, God is just about predicting, telling each one of us, you shall set the condition. Can be, I don't know what kind of conditions you are. I don't know whatever you're in right now. In any situation you're right now in. Kind of think about what is it God told you yesterday, last night, 1 week ago, 1 month ago. What did He tell you? 1 year ago, what did He tell you? What did He tell you? Did He tell you something?
Probably, I just don't remember. I put it off as crazy and not worth remembering.
That's exactly how that Noah felt that too. He felt that was a crazy idea. God probably placed in your heart, spoke with you clearly without a doubt, spoke to each one of you, instruction. Yes, it is up to us to carry on that task. What is it? Well, just simple example is, of course, the Mother Moon. I mentioned about, I feel she's one of the great central figures that I believe today. And my heart resonates. I do my best I can. Honestly, I'm trying. Because what she's saying is, it's important for each one of us, as we are becoming the Messiah in this age. You are a Messiah. Whatever the area you are working now, and restore the 430 families, or bless 430 families, touch those people, bless them 430 families. And that blessing will just continuously spreading all around. 430, just like Noah's time. In 40 days of flood judgment, 7 days of relieving the doves to 40 days that Noah and the family would stay on top of the mountain after flood judgment was over. All these numbers that we find in the Bible, why those numerical numbers are important. 4, 3, 4 symbolizing earthly number, 3 symbolizing heavenly number, 10 generations coming back, returning number. All these detailed numbers explains in the Bible. Numerical numbers are important as the setting the foundation of faith. Well, that's just one, but there's so many things that God spoke with you somehow, in many, many ways that God spoke with you. So I'd just like to really end it with it. I'd like to share with you a story, my own personal story of, faith, that how small the faith I have. Well, it has been a wonderful preparation to creating a marriage seminar. To have a marriage seminar right on our anniversary, my wife and I discussing why we have educational seminar on our anniversary day. I don't know why, but God somehow placed 25th of August as the marriage seminar. Now, marriage seminar was planned, executed about a month and a half ago, and with the presenter was one of the best presenter in terms of particular topic on marriage. It cost us a lot of money. So consider myself, I consider that a lot of money. Then I had to charge everybody a lot of money. So maybe $70. I mean, for 1 day seminar right here, $70. Yeah, it's reasonable. It's a 70. But some people are not too reasonable. Some people are reasonable. But anyway, I felt like, can you able to have enough couple, like a 15 couple more, in order for us to pay to our presenter? It cost us a lot of money, and I was really, really nervous. I was supposed to have a faith that we will have 25 couples, I believe, in order for us to cover the presenter fee and the food. And I believe we will have 25 couples. And I believed for 1 week. But I began to panic. Because first report I received was that now this couple is only 1 couple signing up. Next week, maybe 10 couple. Find out, now this couple only. What about next week? And I felt like I had to join. I signed in. Now I said, when did you guys sign in? Oh, you're right, sign in. 2 couples. As we're getting close to 3 more weeks to go, I was beginning to so nervous, and I lose my faith completely. But I became sort of a blamer. Began to blaming people, and I stopped texting like Edison, Mr. Carter. I think you should. I mean, you must have come to the marriage seminar because we have to pay this amount of money that you should come. Now, that was like, I was totally out of like anger, blaming spirit, and Mr. Carty said, you know what, more you tell me, I feel like very lonely. I feel so isolated. I'm not really passionate. Because the way I talked to him, the way I spoke to him, the way I accused him, and then start blaming everyone, texting message of, you gotta come because you gotta cost us this amount of money. It's not about we care about, that's really, but instead, I want you to come because reason number 1, it costs us money. Number 2, marriage, seminar, number 3, okay, but it's big, black, thick writing, it costing us money. My faith was like a mustard seed, or half of the mustard seed. I basically asking God that you must bring 25 couples. I'm basically framing God into the very square box. God, you must bring 25. I'm doing my best I can. You must bring 25. But when I listen to Mr. Carty, or Minister Carty's, his sort of honest feeling, I was deeply appreciated because I felt like, all right, he's right. I have learned that I am a blamer, and I don't want to be angry, upsetting myself. I don't want to accuse myself. I want to accuse others. That was the worst things I never done in my life. So I basically quit doing so, and I really appreciate for Eddie. His advice was incredible. I myself isolating from everybody else. Then I said to God, I just want to relax. It's okay to quit. It's okay to postpone. 1 year later, or a couple months later, it's okay to postpone. It is okay to cancel. Why not? It's okay. It is okay, Shona. It is okay to postpone. Then that night, I was on a conference call with Naomi-san and Kira, and also Sally Sayer. And Naomi said, you know what, Shona? We would like to make that substantial donation to make this event possible. That, like all the weights on my shoulder, kind of freed up. I became so light. I was incredibly uplifted, encouraged. I said, I can move forward. I can move forward. So we began, I sent out the advertisement through the Black Professional News. It was free, by the way. It gave me the Black Professional. I could able to put that out there for free. I sent the Northeast newspaper community calendar section, and I sent the advertisement to Clifton and to Maryland. I sent it all over the place with the info of Naomi-san and all of us calling everyone. I just sent out outside of Philadelphia all the advertisements and waiting for those 25 couples to come. Or at least do we have enough money to cover it? Then 5 days later, couples still, 5 couples and 3 young adults. I screamed to God. God! I did everything I can. I did everything I can. This is the best I can do, but still, where are those, at least the 15 couples or maybe less? I don't know. But please, even my wife had a dream. My wife had a dream. She had a dream. In a dream, Father Moon appeared in her dream. The Father Moon asked her, so how many confirmed? My wife said 25. She didn't know what that meant. She didn't know anything about the number 25, but she said 25. Father Moon was like, wow, thank you. Thank you. He was in tears. Thank you. Thank you. So I had a dream. I told her, you know what that meant? We can bring a 25 couple or 25 people to a marriage seminar. So that's what they encouraged me. Father Moon's got to be with us from Spirit World. And entire Spirit World to be with us. Mobilizing. And 3 days later, how many couple? 5 couple, 3 young adults. Wait a minute. God! I have a faith of master seed, but still, I try to believe. I want to believe, but I don't know if I can believe. But at least 25 people is going to show up the marriage seminar. He didn't show up. It was exactly 5 couples, 3 young adults came. Well, but I felt so happy because we did our best we can. And it is not about number, it is about quality. Then, of course, Lamar Smith walked in here. He just walked in. There's one gentleman with a sneaker and jeans. He just walked right in. And I heard you have a seminar here today. I just looked at a newspaper at Baptist Church. Yeah, come right in. So he was one of our friends. Guess what then? Guess what? He wrote a book called Wake Up Winning No Matter What. My goodness, beautiful book. He's an author along with 10 other authors together. He created a book. He wrote another book called The 7 Reasons Why Men Don't Want to Get Married. That's another one, good one. I just want to order this one here, but he showed up. And he said in his book, he says, I had a victorious experience. When my father or Lamar was about to he was a basketball player. He was a great basketball player, varsity basketball player from Washington High School. He was scouted, or he was asked by the staff or scouted to play with Kobe Bryant at Kobe Bryant at over there, Lower Marion High School. Kobe Bryant was scouted. He went to NBA right from the high school. But Kobe Bryant, so he played a little bit with Kobe Bryant. But his father promised him to transfer his school from Washington to Lower Marion. But his father was the baseball coach. He was a part of the baseball team. His father wanted to keep him in his baseball team, but he really wanted to play with Kobe Bryant at Lower Marion. Daddy, can I play with him? I want to join Lower Marion and play with Kobe. And of course, I'll promise my grades are going to go up. I'll do everything I can to make you very happy. I'm definitely going to play baseball too as well, Dad. He said, yeah, okay, sure. Dad says yes. Then, 1 month later, when he was about to sign to go to Lower Marion, and Dad says, no, you can't go to Lower Marion. You stay in Washington and play baseball with me. Dad, you promised. I changed my mind. That was a long years of resentment that he had with his dad. Then, of course, the resentment has been healed. Then he wrote this book. So it's just an incredible story behind Lamar. He walked in, my prayer, small mustard seed, but I cannot fit God into the square. But God knows exactly. He has a plan for each one of us. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. He has a plan. We need to glide on to God instead of put him in a box. We need to glide on to God. Let him work it out for you. Let him fulfill your dream. Let him fulfill your plan. He knows exactly. He has a plan for you, to each one of you. We cannot put him in the box according to my own schedule and plan. But God has a plan. And let us glide on to God. I'm sorry I gave it too long a talk on that one. 30 minutes. I'm sorry, but I just like to have to show you this most recent news from the 6th anniversary of the Songhua update. I'm sorry, but maybe I don't have much time for this to show you now. So probably I can just end it with this right now. Okay, great.
Oh, let's see it.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's show this a video. Okay, sorry. That's gonna be my final conclusion. It's gonna be, 20 minutes or so, but enjoy. It's gonna be wonderful. Highlights of the last whole week. Somewhat event. Great. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Reporting your HJ Global News. On the 6th anniversary of True Father's Ascension and the 2018 Kyoto Cosmic Blessing Ceremony, 4,000 brides and grooms received the blessing in Chungcheon Peace World Center, together with 28,000 couples from 194 countries via the live broadcast. This week, HJ Global News will feature the memorial event for True Father's Holy Ascension and the Blessing Ceremony, as well as True Parents' words delivered throughout the Songhua Festival. True parents' boundless love opened the grace of the blessing, and the entire cosmos was born anew on this day. The Songhua Festival, commemorating the 6th anniversary of True Father's Ascension, saw the continuance of heaven's traditions through the marriage blessing and Ascension Memorial Ceremony. True parents' life accomplishments and activities for peace in the cosmos opened the way for the victory of Vision 2020. The Songhua and Blessing Festival brought heaven and earth together on this day. Over 1,200 global central figures and families who have completed their Heavenly Tribal Messiah proclamations gathered together to pay their respects at True Father's burial site, Honghyangwon, and offered a pledge service to begin the festivities. Afterwards, international and domestic political, economic, and religious leaders, along with 30,000 members, congregated to honor True Father's life and legacy.
문선명 천지인 참부모 천주성화 6주년 기념 성화 축제 및 2018 천지인 참부모 효정 천주 축복식을 여러분들의 뜨거운 박수로 시작하도록 하겠습니다.
The time had come to celebrate True Father's holy Songhua. Through her commemorative address, International President Sun Jin-woo praised True Father's noble life and pledged to unify for Tonelu.
True parents, we are one with you. Heavenly parents, we are one with you. This is Chanaguk, when we are one with you. Aju.
Next, 먼저 맥달을 Chief of True Mother Secretariat bared her filial heart to Father in her letter of remembrance.
아버님, 오늘따라 아버님이 참 그립습니다. 이 그리움의 마음을 펼친다면 지구를 다 덮고도 남을 만큼 아버님이 너무도 그립습니다. 아버님, 이 생에 주셨던 사랑 진심으로 감사드립니다. 아버님, 영원히 사랑합니다.
The second generation whom True Mother supported through the youth camp performed and showcased True Parents' life. The light of Father's filial heart radiated throughout the cosmos. After an offering of flowers filled with everyone's love and devotion to Father, True Parents proceeded to officiate the Hyojong Cosmic Blessing Ceremony. The blessing is Heavenly Parents' greatest gift to human beings. 4,000 brides and grooms present in the arena, and 280,000 couples from 194 nations joining in via Peace TV's live broadcast, exchange blessing vows before God and True Parents to live in eternal love.
하늘 부모님, 기뻐 받아 주시옵소서. 부족하오나 오늘 저희들은 지상에 생이 다하는 날까지 하늘 부모님의 꿈을 이루어드리는 데 있어서 중단 없이 전진할 것을 당신 앞에 약속드리며 이 모든 말씀 참 부모님의 이름으로 축원 선포하나이다.
Through the blessing and Sewa ceremonies, our lives are blessed thanks to True Parents' love starting from our time on earth until eternity.
하늘 부모님과 천지인 참 부모님의 은사로 천주의 성원이 성립되었음을 선포합니다.
On this day, 130,000 international spectators watched the blessing ceremony, embodying the original ideal of creation which God and humanity has longed for. AP, Reuters, AFP, TASS, and TV Tokyo covered and reported the event internationally, and SBS, NBN, and other media outlets within Korea continue to report about the blessing ceremony. Next, the center became an arena for harmony and unity. True Parents wish for the unificationist family to grow as one and introduce you to promote unity and harmony. Members' shouts and cheers filled the Chongqing Peace World Center. As the sticks flew and the markers advanced, the harmony and unity between members transcended languages and national borders in the fun-filled arena.
Good idea, big side,
Later, the whole concert commenced. World-renowned opera singer Paul Potts and the Little Angels, with accompaniment by the Washington Symphony Orchestra, carried warm, beautiful messages of happiness and hope to local county residents. The Samwa Festival. A total of 110 ministers and parliamentarians for peace from 84 nations and more than 70 members of IAPD, including Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and Hindus, journeyed to the providential land of Korea. These world leaders reaffirmed True Parents' life achievements and expanded the vision of UPF by sharing the affiliated organization's roles and responsibilities in the heavenly providence.
I hope and I believe we need to make together a peace in the world.
We are committed to working with you and to uniting the world.
We love you, Mother Moon. Thank you very much for helping mankind.
The exhibition featuring True Parents' life accomplishments showcased calligraphy written during every providential obstacle and photo collections to deeply portray True Parents' hopes and providential stories. At the Songhak Institute of History, the exhibition entitled Even in Our Dreams, You Are Missed illustrated True Parents' filial heart for our Heavenly Parent and humanity. As leaders of the future, Global Top Gun Youth, and the Culture of Heart Youth Camp to revolutionize the arts, brought together more than 1,200 young students from 44 countries. Their passionate hearts conquered the scorching heat in H.J. Chungwon, and they inherited the heart of Hyojung by means of their dedication to the entire schedule. At the closing ceremony, True Parents spoke words filled with warm love.
너희들은 사랑하는 내 아들, 딸이지. 그 이상 좋은 말이 없지. 너희들을 보니까 내가 아주 기쁘다. 아주 희망적이다. 사랑하는 아들, 딸들아. 사랑은 나눌수록 더 커지는 것이다. 너희들도 종종 메시아, 국가 메시아, 세계를 품는 하늘 부모님 안에 인류 한 가족의 꿈을 실현하는 중심 인물이 되어라.
In addition, this year's 2018 Peace Road began in February with more than 250 congressmen from 70 countries at the National Assembly in Korea. Since then, Peace Road events have been held in 130 countries, and in Heavenly Korea, the Ministry of Unification, 16 local governments, including Seoul, and 20 media outlets supported the Peace Road Unity Bike Marathon. True Parents warmly welcomed the bikers to Cheonjeonggu, who brought hope to the realization of the International Peace Highway. The day before the blessing ceremony, couples completed the holy wine ceremony and pledged to become true, ideal families. The new Garden of Eden on Earth. At the Cheonpyeong Training Center in H.J. Chungwon, 53,000 members from 78 nations enthusiastically attended the Hyojung Cheonpyeong Special Great Works, blessed by True Parents for the era of direct dominion. Cheonggwon Genealogy Center is a shrine exhibiting blessed families Hyojung and names for future generations. True Parents led the Cheonggwon dedication ceremony with great love and grace.
하늘 부모님, 천지의 참 부모님, 어찌하여 오늘 저희들에게 이러한 은사를 베푸시옵니까? 그 크신 은사 앞에 너무도 부족합니다. 하오나 천지인 참 부모님, 독생녀 참 어머니가 계시기에 생이 다하는 날까지 어머니와 하나 돼서 하늘이 바라시는 그 기준 앞에 도보당할 수 있는 저희들이 되고자 더욱더 열심히 정성과 노력을 하겠습니다. 천상과 지상이 하나 된 이 자리에서 맹세하옵나니 거두어 주시옵소서. 이후에 되어질 모든 날들 앞에 미래의 모든 후손들 앞에 정말 자랑스럽고 정오정착 한 점의 흠이 없는 선조들이었다, 조상이었다 할 수 있는 그러한 이 전당이 될 수 있도록 모든 것을 성별하시고 당신께서 기뻐 받아주시옵기만을 간곡히 바라면서 참 부모님의 이름으로 아뢰었습니다.
아주.
Tombo 1 will feature Tombo Hall to illustrate True Mother's Life course, a history museum of Chungcheong Province, a repository of members' records, and a hall of fame. True parents sanctified the building and prayed for all blessed families to feel as if this is their Tombo 1.